Nonchalant dreadhead, stop shaking your dreads. You're distracting the girl.
My bad, teach. Oh, my bad.
They say hair is a man's makeup. And in my experience in life, I can tell you that I 100% agree. Depending on what you rocking on your head, it can be the difference between getting all the ladies or getting clowned on. Now, as a black man, my experience with hair has definitely been a love-hate one at times. So in this video, I'll be taking you through some of my past experiences with my hair, the different hairstyles I've had, and ranking them as we go. Okay? Okay. Now, as a jit, I know a lot of y'all was rocking that slick buzz cut. Simple, easy, canon event for a lot of y'all. But for me personally, I never had to experience that phase. You see, during my elementary school days, I was steady rocking that Afro. And I loved this look, okay? I was pulling up to class looking like Huey straight out of the Boondocks. And while the Afro is definitely a classic, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of downsides. Like number 1, waking up in the morning. All my fellow melanated members know the feeling of waking up in the morning, walking over to your bathroom mirror, and seeing half of your hair completely flattened. That wake up hair is dead ass no joke. And then once you decide you want to pick it out, the knots and tangles you will encounter will make you consider just going bald. Now this will 100% not be the only time I talk about this in this video, but my entire life I've been extremely tender-headed. So as a little 7-year-old boy having to sit through my mom pick out my knotted ass hair, shit low-key ruined my day. But then finally, after the wake up in the combing phase, I would finally have the perfect fro. I would walk into school feeling like the man. I was unstoppable. Until those damn white people. Now to some people watching this, what I'm about to say might sound absolutely crazy. But I know it's a lot of y'all that this is gonna be a relatable ass canon event that we have all been through. And that is those 5 little words. Can I touch your hair? No! Oh my goodness. When I tell you I was being treated like a damn stress toy the way all of these little white kids were touching my hair, shit was genuinely out of hand. Now, with all that being said, will I ever personally go back to the fro? Probably not. However, if you can pull off an afro and just rock your natural hair, it's low-key one of the most goated looks you can rock as a black man. So overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. Next, I want to talk about cornrows. Now, before I get into my experience with this hairstyle, I'd like to clarify that for the past couple years in my life, I've been steady rocking some simple 2-strand twists. However, I'll get into that later in this video. Now, with that being said, the reason I decided to rock cornrows for the first time was I had a little event coming up, and your boy was trying to look fresh. The twists were getting repetitive, and I just needed to switch it up. So what better to do than get cornrows, right? Right? Please listen to me when I say, if you have a big forehead, do not get cornrows. Now personally, my forehead ain't even that big for real, or so I thought, because after I got them cornrows done, I was convinced I was balding. Like, I'm talking the just let it go type of balding. And now before y'all tell me I should have gotten the front taper, I tried, but when I told my barber, he just looked at the reference picture, looked at me, shook his head, and proceeded to not give me the right cut. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Jari, I have a pretty small forehead. Is cornrows the way to go? And I mean, it very well could be. However, do y'all remember earlier when I told y'all I've always been extremely tender-headed? Well, never in my life have I been so confident I was tender-headed when the braiders started picking out my thoughts during our session. I'm not exaggerating when I tell y'all there were tears in my eyes. There were about 17 times during the whole process I was ready to just get up and leave. And once you done with all of that, when you finally have your cornrows in, just expect it to feel like fire ants trying to eat your brain for however long you got them hoes in. So with all that being said, despite all the negative experiences I have associated with cornrows, I genuinely do think they are a fire hairstyle and they mad protective. You just gotta have the right face shape and be prepared for what's in store. Overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. Next, I'ma quickly talk about dreads. I've never actually had dreads before myself. However, for how long I be leaving in my twists, I think I have the right to comment on them. Dreads are a fairly low maintenance hairstyle, and there are so many ways to rock them, not to mention the great shift making them the superior hairstyle. Overall, I gave them an 8.5 out of 10. And last but not least, we got my personal GOAT, 2-strand twists. This hairstyle has been with me through thick and thin for the past 3 years of my life. The only real downside that I can think of when it comes to this hairstyle is how long it be taking to redo them. But if you just put on a movie or watch some YouTube or something, it goes by pretty quick. Now for me personally, I let them rock longer than the average individual. So when it's time for a retwist, I really just be procrastinating and pretending I got dreads for real. Now one thing I want to talk about real quick is dyeing your hair. About a year ago, I decided that I wanted brown ends on my twists. And for a while, every time I would retwist my hair, I would also re-bleach it. Which, yes, it looked good, but it also taught me a very, very valuable lesson. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, your shit gonna fall out to me. I've been dealing with the consequences of bleaching my hair for the last couple months now, and it's just starting to get back to normal. So if you want to bleach your hair, go right ahead. But just be aware, if you overdo that shit, you will lose a lot of progress you've been making. Now back to the twists themselves. This hairstyle will always have my heart. And to be honest, it's probably what I'll be rocking for the next couple years of my life realistically. Overall, I give these a 9 out of 10. I hope this video has enlightened you and given you new perspective on what hairstyles you decide to rock in the future. Let me know in the comments what hairstyles y'all be rocking and your personal experience with the hairstyles in question. And who knows, maybe if the stories are interesting enough, I'll make a part 2 and feature them. But anyway, I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. Thank you for 40 subscribers, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Peace.
About to take a nigga bitch with this haircut. Come here. About to cop a new fit in this haircut. Don't ask me to do shit, I got my haircut. Feeling like a new man with this haircut. I'm trying to fuck you and your friend with this haircut. Barbara say you want a band.